Even if as collectors we don't tend to think about selling, I mean, who in their right mind would think about selling these beauties? The truth of the matter is that for us to have bought our coins in the first place, someone else must have decided to sell them. And we never know. Our taste on coins might change. We might get more refined and selective with our collections, making some of our coins incompatible with our collecting goals, or life circumstances just change and we need to liquidate some of our collection. In any case, this is a little video aimed at helping you selling some of your coins, exposing some of the most popular ways people sell them, and give you a couple of tips that should make the process of selling them easier and maybe even profitable. Let's jump into it. So before even talking about practical ways of selling a coin, there are certain things you should and could do to improve your, let's say, experience on selling it. We need to remind ourselves that selling a coin is the end of a cycle that has started when we first purchase our coin. This means that buying well will result in a good sale. So the mantra of always buy the best coin you can afford really applies. A desirable coin is objectively more attractive for a wide audience, always, and is much more likely to increase in price, at least to keep up with inflation in the long run. By the simple fact, more people should appreciate it. Ancient coins are luxury goods, so the only way of determining its price is by pure supply and demand, and good-looking coins are in short supply. The next one might sound obvious, but a lot of people don't take the time to do it. Have a full description and attribution of your coin. A good, complete attribution helps a potential buyer assess the value, and it helps you have a clear idea of what you have, if it is rare or not, what kind of value does it have. Basically, always have a complete description of each coin you plan to sell, stating the issuing authority, the date, if possible the mint, the features and any legends on the obverse, the feature and all the legends on the reverse, diameter, weight, and if possible, any catalog references. You should already have that information from when you bought your coin in the first place. But if you don't, I suggest you keep an attribution of all your coins and do an effort to make a full attribution of any one of these coins that you don't have yet. Next, pictures. As simple as it sounds, a lot of people try to sell their coins with horrible pictures. You don't need to be a professional photographer, have any fancy macro lenses. A good picture with a good amount of light and well focused is enough. People don't need to do a microscopic analysis of your coin, but they do have to have a good idea of what the coin looks like so they know what they're buying. The next advice is particularly important with ancient coins, and that is to seek and keep track of the provenance of your coin. Provenance is basically to keep track and keep a record of who once owned the coin, or who sold this coin in the past. And this matters because ancient numismatics is entirely based on trust. Whenever you purchase a coin from a dealer, keep the receipt and record of the transaction, and if you get it privately, definitely make an effort to obtain a provenance of your coin and try to know if it has been on auction or at the inventory of a particular store before. And what do I mean by this? Let's say I did my due diligence and purchased my coin at a renowned auction house like 3 years ago. Now it's time to sell it. Whoever is looking at this coin and might be interested in buying it will then know this piece has been once in front of a renowned dealer who looked at this coin and considered it authentic, considered it a good coin. This is a great argument that your coin is good material. I might have no idea of who you, the seller, are, and might be hesitant about buying it privately from you, but I know this coin has been under proper scrutiny for its authenticity and its quality by someone who does this for a living and has a reputation to maintain. This can vastly increase your coin's liquidity. Some professionals, stores, or private buyers might not even buy a coin if it does not have at least some sort of provenance attached to it that proves it came from a legal source, particularly so as coins get more expensive. On top of all that, more recent provenance might even come with its own catalog or auction pictures, so you could potentially use these pictures to describe your coin a little bit better and help you sell it. So these were some of the ways you could improve your odds of selling your coin and getting a good value for it. Now let's go to the main ways of selling it. In my view, there are 3 main ways you can sell your coins. The first one is the most obvious, which is selling it directly to a dealer, either online or at a local store. This has the advantage of being by far the most liquid way of selling your coins, as you can pretty much leave half an hour after coming in the store with cold hard cash in your hands. But I would only recommend this if you are particularly short for money and you need to liquidate your collection quickly. Remember, dealers have to pay for the maintenance of their business as well as adding a small profit margin for themselves. So keep that in mind, because it's gonna make a big cut on your final price. The next alternative is actually selling them yourself. If you don't have the immediate need for money, selling them through Facebook groups, using PayPal, bringing them to eBay, or once the pandemic situation we're currently going through is over, maybe selling them on coin shows or coin clubs, are ways that might require a bit of effort on your part, but it will greatly minimize the amount of money you lose on the transaction, having just to pay maybe some fees and getting closer to the full value of your coin in the end. Now, this is the kind of situation where the provenance I talked about before really makes a difference for the best. In any of these situations I've just mentioned, the potential buyer might have no idea who I am and if they should trust me. But if you can demonstrate a traceable provenance to a legit dealer or store, provide them with pictures they can validate with the provenance, this gives tons of reassurance to the purchaser that he's dealing with a trustworthy person like you. It's just like I said, trust is the lifeline that keeps this market alive. And finally, the third way I would recommend you sell your coins is consigning through auction houses. Now, keep in mind this is a bit of a slower way of getting your money, sometimes taking over a month after the auction day to get the payment. And this method might also be out of your reach until the consignment of coins you are willing to sell reaches a certain value threshold, but I definitely recommend it if you're trying to sell more expensive pieces. And it is basically a joint sale contract. You will choose a venue, show up personally and show the coins, or send a picture of your coins and any documentation they request. So remember the provenance and receipts I was talking about? Yeah, I really meant they were important. They will evaluate your coins and offer a consignment contract. If you are happy with the offer and the terms, you will send them the coins. The auction house will then take your coins into their custody, will incorporate them into the next available auction, and your coins will be exposed to a lot of potential buyers. Both you and the auction house hope for the coin to sell for the highest price possible. The idea is that you bring the coins to the table, the auction house brings their expertise, tradition, and portfolio of customers, and both should win in the end. From this final price, also called the hammer price, an extra will be charged on the buyer, and you will receive a payment for your consignment in relation to the contract terms you sign with the auction house and the final hammer price. Not only this is a very legally safe way of handling a sale, because all your dealings with the venue are guided by a contract, but this is actually one of the ways how provenance is formed. On many auction catalogs, you might see a listing that says, for example, this coin, X auction house number 1, 1995, X auction house number 2, 2015, X auction house number 3, 2020. This is a tracking of all the previous auction houses this coin has been through. With the current market being reasonably hot due to the influx of new collectors and people with extra disposable income due to the lockdowns, it might be an interesting moment to give some of your coins a new home. I would love to think what you guys have to say. Have you sold any coins from your collection recently? Have you sold your coins in different ways than those discussed? Do your coins have provenance? Let us know in the comments, and see you guys soon.